Hey guys, welcome to another project. This one is mainly a shopping bag. Now you could use this with any scrap of fabric that you have, along with a denim panel completely lined inside. This is without a pattern. The reason I'm showing you without pattern is sometimes with a tote bag. The reason I'm showing you without a pattern is because you could use all the scraps that's left over and you don't really need a particular size of the fabric. If you follow the techniques, you could easily make up your own size and shape. Let's go ahead and get started with the project. Okay, to start this project, we need the flat denim panels. I have made these flat denim panels out of an old denim. If you want to learn how to create this fabric of denim from an old jeans, then go ahead and watch my video called Flat Denim Panels. I have placed the link below in the description box. Okay, now this is not all tidy up. I've not tidied this up properly, but I'm going to do it in a second. I've also got some really beautiful print fabric. Now this is where I live, so I bought this. I was really excited because this is a shopping bag and it's very appropriate. Wherever we go, we see beaches in Cornwall, so it's really really excited to make the shopping bag because then I can carry it around. I've also got bias tape. This is 1 inch wide bias tape that's already made up. I don't know how much I'm going to use, but I will tell you when I've finished it. I'll put the details in the description box below. Okay, so I'm going to, once I cut the denim out, I'm going to come back and tell you the measurements of these two panels. I've decided to make my handle in the denim and kind of trim it with a bias binding. You don't have to do it. You could use a webbing tape like this and go and watch the video I've made for how to make handles. You can make it like that as well. Okay, my denim is measuring 23.5 by 20 inches and my lining fabric is measuring 18.5 by 20 inches. So the reason I have left a little bit extra of the denim, mainly because there was fabric. I also wanted to give a sort of a band on top of the bag like this without actually folding both the fabrics over. So I just want this to kind of have a little bit of edging to the bag. This is the outside of the bag, this is the inside of the bag, because denim, you could when you go shopping, you could spill things and it might get dirty, but anyway, that's part of it. I also need a handle. Now what I realized was with this denim, I haven't got enough now because I've made this decision of having this at the top, so I might have to use a little bit of this fabric. So in that case I will need a webbing tape. I'm going to make a handle in the webbing tape, and this is measuring 21 inches. There's going to be two handles, so this is totally 42 inches long. So I'm going to cut up another fabric and make this handle and get it ready. So anyway, to start off this one, what I'm going to do, just keep my fabric like this and open this up, match these two together, and just go and sew a 1/2 inch stitch from here till the end, starting and finishing with a back stitch. In one of my previous videos, I have shown you how to make the bag handle with a bias fabric. In this one, I'm going to show you how to make it with a straight fabric, because you don't have to, you can use the same techniques, but if it's a straight fabric, there's a lot more easier ways of doing it. Basically, take your fabric almost 2.5 to 3 times wider than your webbing tape. This is the selvage, that's the edge of the tape. But if you don't have a selvage in your fabric, then basically you have to fold this, just a little tiny fold, and that should be enough. Because I have got the edge and it's quite straight and it's not puckering, I'm just going to use it as it is. Now fold this one in, okay, and you can actually go and just sew on top of this so it kind of stays in place and you don't see the stitching on the outside. But if you're using the same colored thread, if you're using the matching thread, then you don't need it, and then you fold it over. So basically
fold it over in such a way so it comes to the edge. So all you do is go and put an edge stitch here. So we go and do that all the way through, and then come back and sew another edge stitch to the other end. That way you have a very neat strap that is finished, and you can use it in your any of the bags really. Okay, so I'm just going to go hold it like this and go and sew, and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so I'm going to fold this into one side and then take the other side over. That goes to the edge, and if I have to move it a little bit, if you're not very experienced in sewing, you're going to find it difficult to do this, so I would probably suggest you tack this. When I come to the end, I just turn over and then sew from the other side, so I have got stitches on both the sides. Okay, here is my handle, and it's looking neat, but this is not as neat as the bias one that we did earlier, and the links for that is in the description box below. I'm just going to trim this into half. There's a little edge there that I need to trim, so I'm going to do that. So there it is, my handle is ready. Now let's move on to, so there it is, the handle is now ready. Okay, now we move on to making the bag. Before we go and join the two fabrics together, we need to make some markings. Okay, main fabric, denim fabric, I've just placed it here. Now take your marking chalk and leave about 2 centimeters. This is little more than half an inch, so I'm just going to leave 2 centimeters, which is almost like 3/4 of an inch, because we do need the seam to be thick. So from there I measure to the end. This is about 19 and a quarter inch. Let me just move it so that I get 19 inches. Then I make a so at that stage I'll just go and make a notch mark. Instead of dividing and trying to measure out, making notches is the easiest way you could arrive at the center of that fabric. So okay, there is my center point. So I move my fold into the center point and make another notch mark. So the same way I bring this notch to the center notch and make another notch mark. So I have got the center. I need to make a notch mark in the center as well, so I know my center, and that's the center of the center, and these 2 marks here. Basically my handle is going to go and sit like this. So that notch mark, so from the notch mark, this is where my notch is. The edge of my handle is going to sit on the notch mark. We're not going to center the handle, but we are going to put the edge of the handle on the notch. Okay, so if you want measurements of how much, what's the distance in between these two, is this is about 6 inches or 15 centimeters, which is perfect for a handbag. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it like this. This is only on one layer. I'm going to place it like this and put a pin. I'm going to place it like this. Just make sure that your handle is not inverted. Place it like this and put a pin. Okay, we don't, if you want to, you can just go and put a stay stitch, but it's not necessary. And we go and do exactly the same on this side. Okay, 2 handles, and then we're going to put the denim on top and sew a straight stitch. I have fixed both my handles, so both my handles are here. Now I'm going to take my denim, place it on top like this, and then starting from here, starting with a back stitch, go all the way and finish with a back stitch. Here is the big panel that we have just joined. Now this one, to show you, I haven't got enough space to show you the whole panel, but I'm sure you can see what I'm trying to show you. Now what we need to do is, I've decided to put a little bit of decoration on the top, which is going to be the bias tape running all the way through. I'm just going to leave a little bit of gap so the denim shows through here, and then the tape running this way. So for that we just need to make sure all the seam is this way, so not this way, this way. Okay, So I'm just going to make that seam set to the other side. I'm going to iron it, and after that I'm just going to place my bias tape like this and just run 2 seams on either side of my bias tape. I'm leaving about ½ an inch gap from the on the denim, and then sewing on top of this. Now when I come to the end, I go and sew on the other side. Okay, I'm coming towards the end of my tape. You can see I've put a pin here. I've measured the beginning and the end and just made sure the distance here is the same, so my seams will match perfectly. Now I'm going to turn around, just go back all the way till the end, go back all the way till the beginning of the seam again. Okay, so
Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I shall see you next time.